everybody. Welcome to the party. We're here on Sunday. Woo! We're back. I'm excited. We got some time for wrestling fun. I think we need it. It's time. Anyway, let's get started. We'll get the announcements out of the way, which I can do.
Yeah. Poorly? Yeah, you can do them poorly.
Okay, fine.
Or you can leave them to a professional.
Fight. God, there's Fox's entrance music coming out the right with a steel chair.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I want to tell you today about our sponsors. Our first sponsor that I would like to mention for you today, Rue Inc. That's the mistress of maps. You can find all of their amazing map work at rueinc.com. Second up, So Nerdwear, the official merch store for Welcome to the Party. You can see down here in my colleague, he's wearing one of the fine merches you can purchase at our merch store. Make sure that you use code WELCOME to get 10% off of your next purchase from tabletoploot.com. Oops, sorry. So Nerdwear, I got confused for a second. I'm very old. So Nerdwear, it's what the nerds wear, but what they don't wear is tabletops. Tabletop loot, it's got dice. Amazing dice. Dice you could use for rolling to determine random things. A moment while I remember what the promotional code is for that. I believe it is also welcome. Is it welcome? I don't fucking remember what the promo code is.
WTTP Dice.
WTTP Dice will get you 15% off your next order at tabletoploot.com. And finally, as you can, you can't tell in here, we do not have a dice roller on this overlay, but all of our games are proudly sponsored by Roll20. Head over to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Get a free account. Right now, you can't go outside. You can't see your friends. You can't go to a table. You can't. I am being wrung out. I believe that is my time. You need to get your ass over to the premier virtual tabletop experience. We also have Patreon. If you just want to give money into that directly, it goes to the management around here who makes decisions, perhaps questionable ones, all things considered, looking around at this fine group of people I am here with today. And finally, if you don't want to give us any money, just come hang out in the chat room. I'm going to use the keyboard here. Discord. It's not. Somebody type !Discord
I already
over there in
did.
the chat. You're a beautiful human being, Death by Mage. Go over there, talk to people, make things happen. Benny Templeton signing out. Ask me if I can do the fucking ad read.
Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week with another fantastic episode.
Yeah. Bye.
This is now
Benny.
ad read performance theater.
Also, you started out a little more Bernie, which was great. I love it.
Yeah, it's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so good. I was like,
He's so close.
oh,
He's so
I
close.
miss him. All right. Anyway, let's go.
seriously.
If
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
your
in the
real one.
1%, use code WELCOME to get 10% off your t-shirts.
Orders of $15 or more get free shipping. I'm sorry. We're here to play a wrestling game, Kate.
No,
you can tell
I
us
have
about
one
it.
question though. Do you think we can get Bernie to guest on PWN?
He's not doing anything right now, right? You know,
Yeah,
He's got time on
Not
his hands
busy.
now.
Yeah, he's not
As
busy.
our democracy crumbles, it's fine.
All right. Anyway, let's go around.
Pull up.
Let's go around and introduce ourselves and who we're playing. Let's start with Jackie.
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage, and I will be playing the high-flying The Cook, and I will also be announcing as Johnny Wong.
Smurf.
Hi, I'm Robert. Tonight or today, I don't know what time it is.
Who knows?
I'm playing Ron Sterling, who is the Prince of Fab and the AAA Mega Champion. And something that I've just now realized, probably for the first time, is I've always pictured him looking like Archer.
Yeah.
Checks
Yes.
out. Checks out. Actually.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
his name is Sterling.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
You just
So,
noticed that?
I just put that together, and here we are.
Thought that was intentional. My bad.
No.
Yeah.
Beautiful serendipity.
Yep.
And also Rory Cemetery.
Him too.
Yeah.
That boy.
Simon.
Hello, I'm Simon. I'm on Twitter at Lucha Libris, and I wrestle as Katrina Calavera, the undead monster. I announce as Ramiro Rudioso, and sometimes I've got both of them locked and loaded back here in case we need them. You can kind of see them just out of frame. I don't know if it shows up on the overlay. But there's 2 puppets, so as needed, our furry friends may
You can
join
see
us.
just the top of one of their heads on the overlay, I think.
Yep.
It's good stuff.
3B always on deck.
Fox.
Hey folks, I'm Fox Barrett for some reason. You can find me at Fox_Barrett on Twitter if you really don't want to have a good time. I'll be playing Ash and I guess Benny. Hi.
And I'm Kate.
This is all Kate's
Okay.
fault.
It's
Okay.
good though. It's
Kate's
good
fault.
stuff. I'm Kate.
She's Kate.
I am me and Midair on the internet. Where I tend to hide right now, but that's okay. And then I am creative. So I try to keep the show moving and in some semblance of order, which doesn't mostly work most of the time.
Sorry,
But we try.
no. We can't have that.
It's good. All right, let's start with beginning of the card moves, which I actually remember this week and I'm proud of myself.
Proud of you too.
Does anyone have 4 audience? We're gonna start with that one first because then I'm gonna do the other one.
I think Ron ended up with 4. It was either right.
I have 3 on my character sheet,
I have
but
3.
somebody bumped me from 4 to 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
then it was
somebody
me then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, okay,
I
that's what
seem to
happened.
recall it being the cook hit 4 because we traded.
Yeah, I was
who's
like,
at
wait
4,
a
like,
minute.
3 times. It was like me, Katrina, and then the cook, I believe, or something.
I think
Yeah.
we're at 13 overall audience.
Yeah, so we're gonna
Right.
grow. I just want to
Lovely.
make
Okay.
sure.
And that means we reset to our audience at the start
Yeah,
of the game as well.
But we're gonna
So
do
for-
your overmove first.
right. Okay. So I get 2 momentum. I rolled a 10.
So
Well, here we go.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
you can I will tell you this.
Yes.
For those this is season 1. We'll be ending season 1 next week. So the cook may demand and be granted any match he wants. It may not happen in season 1, just so everyone knows.
Oh, I'm already getting a match with Katrina today anyways. So I feel like, but I definitely want to say that the cook is definitely going to have a call out for Katrina because it's like, it's high time we kind of just deal with the undead menace that's in the locker room. And it's that moment where it's just like, all right, we need time to clean out the fridge.
Okay, so we'll make sure that we make a space for you to call out Katrina.
And I'll gain the momentum since I'm already
and-
getting the one match that the cook feels he wants.
Okay, and you'll get a momentum. All right, perfect. And then
Now we reset our audience.
but we've grown, you all. We have grown. We've
Oh,
grown.
snap.
Gasp.
So everyone reset your audience to your gimmick starting audience score.
Yep.
Because we have 13. Because we have 3. Ash, you have 3?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and 4. So that's 13. Yeah, we've grown.
Mhm.
Ooh. Which
I don't even
means
sit-
yo, we're getting popular.
Gasp.
Like we're gonna have some money for our big primetime event next week.
We're actually on the Nielsen ratings now.
Yeah. Like
Give the
We-
World Wildlife Fund a run for their money.
I'm gonna have to tell them to get the F out.
I'm trying to think of what else would have PWN as like a slogan, like that we could have a fight with.
People's. Oh, nope.
Nope.
Sorry.
Nope.
Close it out.
Nope. Nope.
New tab.
New tab.
Pacific Watermelon Network. Pandering white newsroom.
Andrew
Uh,
White
there-
narcissists.
There
There it
actually
is.
is. There is also the private wealth network.
The Puppet News
Oh.
Workshop. Holy, thank you, Varnish
Puppet-
Truth in the chat. The Puppets News Workshop is really good, actually.
But it
Oh,
had to be
Puppets
Puppets
News
Workshop
Workshop.
News.
Puppet
Yeah.
Workshop
Workshop
News.
News.
There we go. Yeah, that's good. Puppet Workshop News. Okay. Love to come up with something. That's good. I love it. All right. Anyway.
Puppets with nipples. PWN.
And here we go.
I regret everything. Sorry.
Make sure to check us out at puppleswithnipples.com.
Nobody Google that.
You don't really want to
It's-
Google
I'm
that.
sure it's bad. I'm sure it's really bad.
Use
Oh.
code NIPS at checkout for.
It's
AOL
available.
keyword puppets.
It's available for my registrar. $8 a year.
Oh no, stop it. No, no.
I'm just gonna
No.
click add to cart. Puppet. Hang on. Last thing. Puppet with nipples. Adult. However, $88.99 a year.
Oh shit.
I wonder why.
But puppetswithnipples.com, no problem. Anyway, back to our show.
All right. Okay, Fred.
Fascinating.
Wow. The lovely world of the
Oh.
internet. Anyway,
So we grew. How'd we grow?
so I think we're gonna
Emotionally.
I think we're gonna save that for next week.
Okay.
How we grow.
The emotional growth. Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not ready for that.
No, also the growth of the promotion.
Of the promotion. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, just for the sake of it, dick joke.
just like
Just-
obligatory dick joke.
Acknowledge it.
Okay, fair. Done. All right. Moving on. Are we ready?
I don't know. I'm still traveling along this face journey with Fox here.
It's
I've
a
seen
long-
like every stage of grief.
It is, my friend, a long, hard road. So anyway, Kate.
Do we wrestle on this show?
Anyway,
Sometimes.
we cold open
Do we ever?
with Ron in Alistair's office. What are you doing?
Ron is sitting in a chair, but not facing the camera. For months, everyone has sought after what I have. They have searched high, far, and wide for the AAA Mega Champion. Even without the belt, everybody knew that I was that champion. And now, with the belt over my shoulder, I finally have affirmation of my greatness. You see, not everybody can be me. And that's okay. Because I'm here. I'm here to collect the gold. All of it. There has never been a double champion in this promotion. Until tonight. I will leave this place. The PWN PNW champion. Fuck. And I will finally have 2 belts over my shoulders. And then, after that, I suppose I'm going to have to find a partner. So I can be the first and only Triple Crown champion. I'm coming for all the gold. It's mine by right. And none of you can be me. And then he's going to turn around in the chair.
And then we get. This is PWN presents Slaughter with Ron Steerling, The Cook, Silver, Ash, Diesel, Blood Moon, Vampirus, Katrina Calavera, The Sorority Sisters, Iconique, Carmela Davis, Family Values, The Governor, Vince, Rocketman King, Ghost, Bull. I just like this music. We're gonna listen to it for a second. and the camera slowly comes in onto a pretty raucous crowd, and the ring is about the same, but the it's full. Like, this place is full. People are stoked to be here on the ring, and Rory is at the announce table.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to PWN Presents Slaughter! Tonight on the show, we have some amazing matches lined up, including a tag team matchup to open the show as Family Values takes on the red hot, smoking hot Sorority Sisters. After that, we will find out who will finally put the beast to rest, if that's anyone, as the Cook tastes on Katrina Calavera. And then our main event tonight, a champion versus champion match, where the winner takes home all the gold. Ash versus Ron Steerling in a no countouts, no disqualifications match for all the marbles. Coming up next on PWN Presents Slaughter!
And we move to the locker room. What is everybody doing?
Fighting with the overlay.
Okay.
There we go. Getting some weirdness. Don't mind me.
I know what. So the Cook is actually going to be not in the locker room. He's going to be in the little lounge, making an entirely elaborate spread. He's gonna finish, and then he's gonna finish it. So it's think of like a decent 3-course meal made and then packaged to go, and he's going to walk out of he's gonna carry everything out, and he's going to head down the hallway and go look for Katrina.
Are you going to the steam tunnels to look for Katrina? Is the question.
Yes.
Fair.
I know what I want to have happen. So we've gotten more popular, so our budget has increased.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So the Cook is walking through these tunnels, and suddenly, like, everything fades away to like just shadows until it's like the Cook illuminated by a spotlight as he's like walking down the hallway, and echoing through the blackness is Katrina's voice saying, "Cook, I can smell you down here."
That would actually be the carbonara.
Yeah. It's a good thing that you always leave your scent so that I can find you easier. What happened to you, Cook? I remember when you used to be one of the hardest people in this promotion. Now you've gone as soft as your pasta.
He sets the food down. You know, sometimes, Katrina, sometimes you learn that while life is hard, sometimes it just takes being a little kind to really shape everything better.
And like,
And I want to say that lately, your behavior has been quite appalling.
Her like face emerges from the shadow in one corner, and she like snarls and bites, and then she pulls back in the shadows, and then she appears from another direction and like snarls and bites and comes back, and then like two hands reach out from the blackness and drag the carbonara into the shadows. And her voice echoes through the darkness. Kindness, huh? Well, Cookie, I'm just gonna have to kill you with it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, it's time we cleaned out the fridge.
You better bring the industrial cleaner, because I've gotten into every nook and cranny of this place. I'm tenacious, Cook. I died once. The second time won't be as easy.
Well, I will say that even sometimes you have to cut the mold off the cheese.
Like there's a bunch of like hissing noises and like like ghostly shrieks, and then the lights just like boom turn back on, and you're in the steam tunnels like perfectly illuminated, and nothing is around you except an empty bowl of pasta.
It's the people.
Is it doing like the? Like
Yeah.
you've been set down in
Yep.
a hurry.
Okay, I
Yep.
assume this was your call out
Yeah.
from your over the top. Katrina, if you
Yeah.
cut a promo, I feel like you did there. I feel like you did.
Yeah, all right.
I feel like that was a pretty good cutting a promo there.
It's either that or working the audience. I don't know.
Yeah, but I really feel like you were like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right, so I roll plus power because I'm outside of the ring, and I have a move for that. Okay,
What do you got?
I get a 9.
Nice.
I get them to pay attention, make creative book you in a match. I'm already in a match. Add a stipulation to a relevant match.
You
I can
can
already
already
put a
do that.
casket in it.
I'm like, you can already do that. Why?
Oh, you know what? I need heat with the cook because I
Yeah.
didn't have
Yeah,
any.
we need heat.
We haven't had any heat for like 5 episodes.
Yeah.
So I'm taking +1 heat with the cook.
Nice. Okay. All right. Ash, what are you doing?
I'm gonna take a page from their book. I'm not gonna be in the locker room. I'm gonna be out in the ring, actually.
Oh, you're sitting cross-legged in the middle of the ring?
No, tempting, but no. No, not sitting down. We are standing up. Let me take us to the ring. Hopefully why is the overlay doing that? Okay, well, whatever. Sorry for the glitches, folks, but Ash is kind of standing. She like strides out to the ring, climbs up into it, picks up the microphone from the middle of it. Hey, actually, this is a GM question about setting. We had talked way long ago, back at the start of all of this, that while this takes place in the 90s, it takes place in some kind of weird alternate universe. Are we keen to stick on that?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Make up whatever you want. We have
Okay.
we have Muppets in the show.
Be careful.
As the aliens descend
With
upon
great
us,
power.
I would like to say,
Okay, you know what I mean, dude.
and the
I
zombie
trust
horde
all of
spill
you.
forth. Oh. All right. Fair peoples of the great and wondrous North American Union, here in the Northwest Sector, in the glorious state of Washington, in the greatest city ever to be named, Vancouver.
Okay, you get your cheap heat for that. Enjoy.
Welcome. It's one momentum, right?
Yeah,
Sick.
that was easily done.
This may well be the last time I step out here to address all of you wonderful people in the audience here tonight. And so I'd like to take this opportunity to tell you about someone. Someone who I feel this company, this so-called promotion, has looked over, has cast aside, has mistreated since the very first days of PWN. I know what you're all thinking, and no, not your humble hostess here. No, no. I am talking about all of you out there in the audience tonight. Every person in this arena has had their time disrespected with these absurd angles that go nowhere, with these ridiculous gimmick matches, with this pathetic display. And she leans up on the ropes of what it hurts me to call wrestling. I'm not here to waste your time. I am here to shake these walls to the ground. Do you people that I want to show? She just holds the microphone up to the audience.
Yeah, give us a show.
Yeah.
I said, do you people, and starts pounding on the mat and shaking their arms. Do you people want a show tonight?
Okay, I feel like you need to roll.
Okay.
Are you cutting a promo?
No, I'm
Or are
working
you
the
rolling
audience.
one of... Oh, working it on.
I'm working
okay.
on. I'm pumping up, yelling at her,
Oh, yeah,
otherwise
sorry, okay.
getting the audience cheering or jeering at you.
Yeah,
So, when I work the audience, dice are a thing I need.
I feel like this is every episode.
Listen, I do 2 shows on
Episode.
Sundays, and you need to be nice to me. I'm also
I know.
producing, and you made me
I
do
know.
the ad read. So
I made you do the ad.
forced me to do it. 1 second. Okay, what's my audience? My audience is currently +3, so no point using sympathetic because my work is 2. Hiya! 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a 9 on work the audience.
So, yeah. Gain 1 momentum.
Sick.
I'm assuming since you're not in a match.
I would love to gain a momentum.
Yeah, and they go wild.
Then so shall you have it. She walks out of the arena. And just kind of casually tosses the microphone on the announcer table as she walks by it.
I like it. It's good. Ron.
So
What are you
Ron walks into the locker room and looks around because apparently there's no one in the locker room.
Well, I mean, there are other wrestlers in the locker room. It's
Hold
just-
on. There's no one in the locker room.
Okay, fair. There's no
And-
one in the locker room.
And he kind of looks around and goes, "Oh yeah, we upgraded," and is going to leave and enter through a new door, and it's a much nicer locker room.
Oh, nice.
That has all of the wrestlers, all the NPWs getting ready. And he's going to go up to his locker and open it up, kind of start wrapping up his wrists. He has next to his locker a mannequin that is wearing "You Can't Be Me" t-shirt that has the championship belt around it right now, around its waist. After he finishes taping up one of his wrists, he kind of looks at the mannequin and holds it on the side of the face and goes, "We really are handsome, aren't we?" and is then going to take the title, throw it over his shoulder, and is going to look at whoever's next to him and just be like, "You wish you were me."
The bull.
The bull.
The bull. Like this giant man just standing there like,
But you can't be me. Nobody here can be me.
eh. Okay.
You may stand above me, but you'll always be below me.
The bull's face just gets this confused look like, the actual fuck is he saying to me? But he's like trying to get like, is he insulting me? Can't tell.
And then Ron will exit the locker room.
At that moment, the bull's like, and then gets mad and just like chases after Ron, like slams the locker and like chases after Ron. In the locker room are family values. The governor, in his kind of suit over t-shirt, you know, they're wearing the family values t-shirt, which I've decided look, it's really awful. It looks like the Capitol building, and over it says family values. And then I don't remember who the other one is. Oh, and Vince Rocketman King is there, and he's like cleaned up his appearance. Instead of like the smarmy tux with the spy, he looks more like the governor now. And he has a name tag on his suit jacket that says Mr. King. So the governor has a name tag that says the governor, and his says Mr. King. And the secretary is like going between both of them, trying to help them as they're getting ready for their match. And at this moment, the sorority sisters walk into the locker room, and the governor looks at them and sneers and says, "You filthy, filthy girls. You think that you deserve to be the champions? Huh. You're no role models for young women. There is no way you're going to walk out of here with those belts today. Right will prevail. Truth will prevail. Your show last week disgusts me. You disgust me." And they're like not pleased and kind of try to go at him, and he's like, "Huh, I have no time for you," and runs away. Pretty much. Like, it's like they try to go at him, he's like, "In the ring, children, I have no time for you," and then like pushes them away and walks out. And Vince is kind of like toadying behind him. You can see that it's a power dynamic. It's very weird. The cook, where are you right now?
No longer in the steam tunnels.
I assumed.
Let's see. So the cook is probably going to be, he's actually going to be in the gym, and he's actually deadlifting a bunch of cast iron pans that have been stacked together. It's all his branding.
No, okay. So I'm wondering, how is this working? Are you deadlifting?
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, are they on something, or are they connected to a bar that you're then deadlifting?
Yeah, so what it is they're connected to a bar, which is then tied to like steel wire. So and it's looped through all the handles. So there's like about probably like 5 to 6 like 12-inch cast iron pans looped into each side. So it's just like he's deadlifting it up.
That looks needlessly convoluted.
Doesn't matter, it's awesome.
And then like off to the distance the camera pans and you just see like the cook's own cast iron pan set.
12 cast iron pans. And Olive Oil is in the corner. She is dressed in a much more relaxed outfit than she's been in the past. She's like in jeans and a nice shirt. Seems comfortable. Her hair's kind of half down. And she's counting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
3 hours later.
222. That was amazing, boss.
Drops the bars. Man, I've been out of shape.
You're getting so much better, boss. That's like great.
Yeah, gotta get ready for that match today.
Yeah.
Katrina's not gonna make it easy for me.
Yeah. She's pretty, scary.
Yeah. Yep. Well, it's high time that we roast that piece of undead meat.
Ew. Ew. Ew.
Go on.
Sometimes, boss, you're kind of weird, and that's a little gross. But okay, sounds fine.
I didn't mean it that way. I mean the fact that, of course, have you ever seen undead beef? It's terrible.
Like cows?
Yes, undead cows. They're terrible. They're terrible to cook with. Don't ever cook with undead
Like
cows.
live cows.
Undead. No, they're not. They're not alive. They're undead.
He means like a vampire.
Is Benny there?
He is now.
Oh. No, I've just seen live cows because they're not dead, so they're undead.
No, but I mean like a vampire, like an interview with a cow vampire cow.
That was a
That's
good
what
movie.
he's talking about. Then yeah, right? You know, not only my speed.
I don't know. It
little
kind of
bit,
made me
but-
feel weird because she was like 12, but okay, whatever. That's fine. Anyway, so
A friend of mine told me it was very empowering. I chose to believe her. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
fair. That's fair. That's fair. Right. Undead cows. Right. Okay.
Ron is going to enter at this.
Oh God.
Can I smoke in here?
No.
Damn it.
There's a smoking room. You know where it is.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I was chewing a thing.
I have some licorice.
That's disgusting. Thank you.
Red licorice, not black. That's disgusting.
That's doubly disgusting. Thank you.
The cook's eating black licorice.
What is Benny chewing on? Is it a Jemison's meat stick?
I hope so.
It's still in the wrapper. Yes.
Or a protein now bar.
And somehow this is not as disgusting as licorice.
Cook
particular
cometh
man.
Yes.
I saw in the closed circuit screen you were trying to do some weightlifting with your pans.
Yeah. You want to try?
Oh well. Your technique was all wrong. I was wondering if you had a moment for me to show you how it's properly done.
Yeah.
Usually without pants.
See, it goes over to like the dark part of the room. It goes, in the dark part of the room, we keep the weights.
In the dark part of the room.
And he comes back and he's got like an actual like deadlift bar.
Oh. I always wondered where we kept those.
You should try using these. They'll be even and easier to lift. You also won't hurt yourself.
It's almost like they're made for it.
I appreciate it.
Anyway, I actually came in here looking for your assistant. Can I have a moment with Olive Oil?
Yeah. Go ahead.
And Ron will get Olive Oil's attention and exit the room so that they're alone.
Yeah, she'll be like, "Oh, okay," and she'll follow him out.
Listen, your boss has made a lot of changes recently.
Yeah, like I'm really proud of him.
He's doing well. But I know that he wants championship gold. He needs it. He's going to lose himself if he doesn't have it. I'm eventually going to need a new tag team partner. And I'm going to be honest with you here. I don't think that things between Ashley and I are going to get any better after tonight.
Well, I would assume so, especially since you keep calling her Ashley.
She keeps calling me Ronald. Turnabout's fair play. What I'm asking, I guess, is I want you to put it in his ear that he and I could be tag team champions.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Let me know what he says.
Sure.
And then Ron will leave.
She kind of looks after him with like an assessing glance. And then goes back into the room.
I imagine the cook and Benny are probably talking about Interview of the Cow Vampire.
I mean, that scene where they thought it was a coffee table, but it was actually a coffin, that was really funny. I thought that was hilarious, but...
Yeah, totally. I feel that Lacau's character development from Act 1 to Act 2 was quite convoluted, but other than that, it was compelling.
I'm not gonna lie to you, kid. I kind of fell asleep about halfway through the movie.
That's fair. It was mostly exposition for most of that movie.
Oh, my dad does that all the time in movies, and then he wakes up and says the movie was terrible.
I'm feeling very cold out right now. You think these things are kosher?
And then I think that's where we cut. Cut. And we open in on the ring. At the announce table are I forgot I didn't tell you, are Rory and Benny.
Oh, okay.
I forgot to tell you who was announcing.
Rory's gonna be like, "Ho! I thought you were backstage."
I did too. Apparently I can buy low-K. Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, all points in between and beyond, to the PWN Arena. Tonight, hell of a match. And he just like looks very expectantly at Rory.
Oh yeah, sorority sisters versus family values. The names write themselves for a good storyline here. We should absolutely see a good match between the two. I myself think that the tag team champions are going to retain their titles. The sorority sisters are just ready to go. They're firmed up, ready to go.
Trying not to laugh for unrelated reasons, I just remembered a really funny joke the cook was just telling me about cows. Completely unrelated to what you just said. I might be having a heart attack, excuse me.
No, that's okay. We have health insurance, so everything's gonna be fine, Benny.
We do. One of the many benefits of the great unionization. So,
The great unionization.
The great unionization of '92.
I love this new world you're creating. I'm happy.
The only people that are going to be needing health insurance today, who are going to be needing professional medical care, I mean, aside from me, because my hip, it is going to be family values. They are so they're older than me in terms of what their way of thinking, their way of acting, their way of behaving in the ring is not becoming of a gentleman or of anybody who has read a book in, let's say, the last 5 years.
I'd agree. Family values are not very progressive. And they are, I think that's going to catch up to them. Oh, the music started.
I hear music!
You do. Betty, you do. Here they come down to the ring. I believe
Family
that's family
values.
values.
Yeah, it's
family
family
values.
You son!
And here they come.
Sorry,
Family
I
values.
get very emotional.
They strut out in their very masculine, like businessman, politician poses and stand there, like all-American. I don't know, like the all-American politician pose. I don't know better how to describe it as smarmy politician. Yeah, like
just a cardboard cutout.
yeah, like
Yeah.
I mean, do
So
they come
bad.
down to the ring like on a little podium?
oh my god, that's so good. Yes. Oh my god, so much better. That's okay. And they're just standing there like this. They're very much like Nixon or Bill Clinton. Like, I am not a crook. I did not. That very.
Oh, the governor has to be doing the
Yeah.
fingers.
Mm-hmm.
And then Vince is doing that smarmy, like, kind of Clinton, like,
Yeah, thumbs everywhere.
yeah, thumbs.
He's got a saxophone.
No, because
I
that's too
did
much
not
like
do what I was accused
who's
of
of
doing.
doing. I did not do it.
I'd like to give these guys a vote of no confidence, Rory.
And they just come out and they walk into the ring.
This fucking
Carrying their-
song.
I know it's so good, though, right? So bad. That's why I picked it. It's so bad. All right, and they walk into the ring with mics in hand, and they have their own mics, mind you, and they're kind of like the old-fashioned like press mics, and they stand in the middle, and the governor just stands in the middle of the ring, with his secretary behind him, like holding papers, trying to hand him his speech, and he won't take it. He just keeps pushing her off. Like, nah, I got this. People of PWN, you have been lied to. This is not the way it should be. This is treachery and gross misconduct.
What the hell is he on about?
This is not what we should be doing. This is not how we should behave. And today, and then you've got Vince in the background going, today, like this little puppet guy in the background, today, we will prove to all of you that might makes might right. Morality is important, and we will take the championship from those who seek to make it less than it should be.
It's a real Smith with words, that one.
Not really.
Benny, just to clarify, the tag team Family Values is going to beat up a bunch of women to prove their point. Is that correct?
That is my understanding, is that in order to prove that they are fine, upstanding citizens who possess the moral high ground, they are going to beat up women half the size. Yes.
This promotion disgusts me, and we need to take it back to the way it should have been. No more of this fancy pantsing around.
You
Do you hear me? Yeah. The audience is like, you suck. There's a couple people in the audience who seem to get behind them, but the majority of the audience is like, you're a has-been. Go home, dinosaur. You know, that kind of shit. But he just like, and then he's like, we will show to you what true righteousness is. And he throws the mic out of the ring.
Those are expensive. We have real microphones now. He should not be doing that. You should not be doing that. He doesn't listen to me. They never listen to me. These guys. I hear more music.
Here they come, the sorority sisters.
And you
Oh,
have
over
these
there.
people- and they are wearing what look like these like kind of jumpsuits with like plaid skirts, and they're just bopping down, and they've incorporated the blow up what are the things outside cars? Car
Wavy
dealership?
Tube Man.
Yeah, wavy tube men, like out, and they're all plaid wavy tube men.
And then they stab them, and then they do a heel turn
No,
and it pulls everyone away.
no, they don't.
I'm
They're
Karen
not.
now.
Brand themselves.
Oh God.
No, they're sweet and cute and bubbly. Don't do that. Don't do that to my beautiful sweetheart.
They have a plaid wavy tube man.
They're adorable. And they're just like high-fiving and doing like cheerleader cartwheels down to the ring.
Where do you even find a plaid wavy tube man?
It was made. It's bespoke.
Oh, that's right. I forgot where we were. I forgot what part of the country we were in. My
I like, we
apologies.
are in the Northwest. You could get anything bespoke. Yeah. Or as Fox likes to call Portland, Bizarro Austin.
Bizarro Austin.
And they just skip down to the ring. They've got their belts on and they're really excited, but they're not wearing Letterman jackets anymore.
Here, without the trademark Letterman jackets, cruelly destroyed, obliterated even, in their previous match.
The tag team champs have a good new look, and I can't wait to see them defend their titles against Family Values.
It's not any family I want to be a part of. Although I have to admit that is a distressing amount of plaid.
And I want you to know that it's pink and purple and black plaid.
A thoroughly distressing amount of plaid.
And they jump in the ring, and Iconic is like, "Hey, old man."
Hello.
Not you, Benny. Benny.
They weren't talking to me, Roy.
I know.
You're has-beens. Your politics are past. You no longer have power here, and we're gonna prove it today. Gotcha. She's like, "Let's go." And they take off their belts and like toss them to the side.
Truly, not all lesbians look the same.
Fuck off. I want you all to know she's been giving
It's a
me shit
callback.
about that. She's giving me shit about that for 2 goddamn weeks. 2 goddamn weeks. She's giving me shit about that.
Every day, I never let her forget.
No.
I call her out. Man, I'm Kate. I have no power here.
I don't. Not here. Not in this place. Not in this time. And Iconic and I was like, what are they? Carmella? What the fuck are their names? Go straight for Vince Rocketman King, pick him up and toss him outside of the ring. And then Iconic and the governor square off as Carmella moves to the outside. So I'm going to call the match. Feel free to jump in, announcers, anytime you so deem. Iconic looks up at the governor and starts poking him in the chest. And looks like she's saying something, but you can't really hear it. She's just like poking him in the chest, like.
A vicious tongue lashing coupled with a vicious poking. I'm sure this is going to go somewhere, however.
And then he looks as though he's going to grab her, and she ducks under his legs, gets behind him, and kind of grabs him behind and flips him over her head into a kind of backwards. I can never remember what they're called. Backwards move where she kind of flips him before and lands on top of him, kind of a somersault thing, and then tries to pin him because she's a little overconfident, and he pushes back out of it. Gets some leverage on her and throws her against the ropes, pushing her against it, grabbing her and flinging her against the other side of the ropes and clotheslining her as she comes back, flopping her to the ground. He grabs her feet, picks her up by her feet, and starts spinning her around the ring because he has no respect. He's an asshole.
Tossing her
And we
around
have-
like a... Oh, go ahead. No, please.
And we have a near fall, and then he kicks out and seems to have been taking control of the match. What is that? The helicopter? What
I'm
is
afraid
this?
so. He's spinning her around, showing absolutely no respect. This guy, I would have thought being flat on his back would have given him a change of perspective, but in fact, he's still a prick.
A prick indeed.
And then kind of flings her against the turnbuckle closest to Vince and goes over, elbows her in the stomach and tags Vince, and they both jump in, pick her up, and fling her straight down into the middle of the ring. He jumps out of the match, and Vince goes to pin her. And you could see Vince like whispering in her ear. You can't really tell what he's saying, and you can tell that she's getting angry as he's doing this. And she, the ref counts down, and she kicks out at 2, and she is livid, and she just starts going to town on Vince Rocketman King, beating the shit out of him. It does not look like wrestling. It just looks like a beatdown at this moment.
Well, I don't know what the hell he just said, but let me tell you, hell hath no fury, Rory.
I'm
Look-
terrified.
Like a woman scorned, Rory. It's an idiom.
I've
Rory.
seen it. I've seen it. Trust me, I'm terrified.
It's they're putting on quite a display in there. Honestly, if one of our other performers is called the cook, clearly she's called the what do you call a person who works in a slaughterhouse? I guess like a slaughterer. Clearly she is the slaughterer.
I didn't think this one through when I started, Rory.
Betty, the word you're looking for is butcher.
What? There it is. Thank you, Roy. That's how we keep it.
Yes.
This is the best.
Flip. And she gets him pinned into their corner, and tags Carmela in, and they both get Vince up on to the turnbuckle, the top of the turnbuckle, climb up, and do a what is that move where they take him over the shoulder and from the top rope, Smurf? I can't ever remember what it's called.
A superplex?
Yeah, maybe.
Or-
Yeah, like a superplex, but between the two of them, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can never remember what exactly the name is because there's so many different names for moves and they all change. Down onto the mat, and Carmela lands on top of him. She jumps out, and Carmela is pinning him, and it looks like he's gonna stay down until the governor grabs Carmela's foot and pulls on it just when the ref isn't looking, and Vince manages to get out. Vince almost makes it to the corner to tag the governor when Carmela chases him down, grabs him and puts him into the what the heartbreaker is. I don't know what the actual wrestling name is for the leg submission move, and is holding it as he is pulling himself slowly but surely to his corner to tag in the governor. That's what they're doing right now.
It looks like the sorority sisters have things under control. Vince can hardly get to his corner to make the tag. He's crawling and he's trying. He just might get there.
Yes. Crawling like the worm he is, even without his legs, this absolute slime ball can still find his way across the ring.
And he's just making it, and Carmela is pulling back when the secretary shouts something out to Carmela, and she looks over, and the governor and the referee at the same time looks over, and the governor leans across and grabs Vince's arm, like leans far out over, grabs Vince's arm and tags himself in, and jumps in and rescues Vince, and takes Carmela up above his head and just tosses her to the middle of the ring on the ground.
What good is this referee? Hey, your eyes are supposed to be on the match. This guy is over here. This is worse than the time I saw the blind referee of New Jersey.
It's a weird thing about referees. They're the most easily distracted people on the planet.
It's, you know, it's almost like that they don't realize there is a wrestling match going on directly in front of them.
And then it looks like this had taken Carmela completely by surprise, and the governor just starts beating her down, taking her, flinging her all over the ring, suplex after suplex, and just insult to injury. Everything is happening in the middle of the ring, and it looks like she's just about to break away and make it to Iconique to tag in when from the side of the ring, Vince knocks Iconique off of the oh fuck, I just forgot. Apron. Thank you. Off of the apron. It just popped into my brain. Off of the apron and to the side, so she's out of reach as the governor does his finishing move, which is the ballot measure, which just looks like a giant gavel. Takes her like this and just whaps her down like this and pins her. And there's the 1, 2, 3.
Play Katrina's music.
Oh, I love it. Okay.
So she comes out.
Bringing her down, setting up the... But wait, what is this? Here comes
Voter
Katrina.
suppression! Voter suppression!
Yeah, Katrina comes storming out of one of the entrances. She's carrying a massive headstone, one-handed. It just has like a generic RIP carved in it. It's probably made of styrofoam, but we don't care.
Yeah.
And
Please,
she
probably
runs
styrofoam.
in and like climbs up onto the rope and tries to do like a diving smash with the headstone to get him off of her.
Okay, so
Katrina Calavera running in to take care of some hanging chads.
So do your run in, like roll to run in,
Yeah.
and you're
I've got-
rolling plus heat with the governor.
Yeah, I've got +1 heat with him.
Okay.
It's a miss.
Oh no!
I start with +1 heat or +1 momentum. So I'm gonna spend that 1 to turn it into a 7.
Okay, so I pick.
Yeah, it has potential, so I get the momentum back, and you pick one of those options.
I'm gonna say that your interference doesn't change the result of the match, because I have plans. But
Yep.
their opponent comes after you for interfering in their business.
Yeah, that's fair.
Okay, I like
She
it.
like dives off the top rope and just boom shatters the headstone across his head, and it splits in two. And she like hucks the useless other half. And I think like they get like really up in their faces,
Mm-hmm.
just like staring each other down until finally he's like this is not your match. You walk away, and she like hisses and then slides out. And as she's like storming away, she whips around. And she's like, "This is not over. I'm gonna bury you two.
Yeah, and then
I don't like them, but I don't like you more."
Yeah, I love it, and that's so good. And then he takes Carmela again, does the ballot measure one more time, and pins her as Vince is keeping Iconic busy outside of the ring.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, and there you have it. You hate to see it, especially, women coming in here, helping other women, standing up for themselves. It was a proud display, but just not enough to stop the endless onslaught of regressive thought.
Really is a tough time and a tough thing to see, Benny. Sorority sisters will have to pick themselves back up and see if they can make a play for the titles again.
Yeah, I feel like their hope to blind him with so much plaid. I feel like it didn't work out this time. It was a valiant effort, but perhaps regrouping, a new battle plan, a new strategy. Good will triumph over evil. Of this, I am confident.
I think if they're going to try and blind them with their plaid, they should have chosen a couple brighter colors, but I am not a fashionista, as they say.
I have no idea what that means, but I can't wait for you to tell me sometime after this commercial break coming up. We'll cover it then, Rory. We'll cover it then with your fancy. Is that Latin?
Kind of.
And the governor and Vince stand up and kind of strut around. And the governor says, "We told you we're going to clean this place up. Starting now. Starting here." And the crowd is not very happy. And they, oh, I need to hit the music again. My bad. There you go. And they grab the belts and just walk out like they own the place.
I really don't have anything else to say about these idiots. I gotta be honest with you. Get mad at you. Your politics stink.
And then we're back in the locker room. I'm
Not
sorry,
my
they're the
governor.
worst. They're the worst. I hate them. Okay. Katrina, what are you doing?
I think after that, I think she's got like a cork board in the steam tunnels. So like it's one of the camera's like panning down lazily down the tunnels and finally comes around a corner into like a hidden room. And like there behind like a bunch of water boilers and cardboard boxes for like old expired Jemison's meat sticks. There's and like some leftover things from like a Pacific Sun or whatever that used to be in the mall, which they brought to the new locale for some reason. Sentimental value. It's set dressing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
was left
I love it.
Waste not, want not.
Mm-hmm.
Right. behind all that, there's like a war room, as it were, and it's just like massive cork boards with pictures of like Alistair at the top and like a little crown scrolled on him and like devil horns, and then like Ron with a huge Ron's picture is taped in the middle of a dartboard, and there's a bunch of darts scattered around it. The sorority sisters are like over here on the side, and it says friend, foe, question mark. And then like the cook, and then like a big thumbs down sticker, and like underneath it scrawled in like really scratchy Sharpie as went soft.
Oh,
Oh.
oh, that's so good.
And then
Soft
like
boy.
Ash, what are we? 5 question marks.
So good. That's so good.
And there's like strings drawn between everything. And she's like, I think just like pacing back and forth, looking, and then she walks up and pins Polaroids of Vince and the governor, and they're like Polaroids where they're like,
Yeah, no, it's so good. I love
get
it.
out of my face, get that camera out. And she goes into like her like motorcycle boot and pulls out a knife and chunk and jams it in there so that now they're up on the board. And she's looking around like, well, this whole thing has gotten a lot more complicated. And you die, and all of a sudden you get a whole new perspective on things. Looks like I'm gonna have to claw my way to the top. And the next step, she taps the cook. It's gonna be him. That carbonara was really good. It's too bad he won't be able to make it when he's dead. And then she rips one of the darts out and like walks back, and it's like a shot from the front. She's like, well, and once I walk over him, I'll be in position to take out the golden boy himself. Like the vibration of the dart echoes. We don't see what hit.
Yeah,
It probably didn't hit.
doesn't matter.
Run. Run. You know, when I first got here, I thought you actually had something to offer. But ever since you said I didn't deserve that mask, I knew something was wrong with you. And you were right. Unfortunately, I didn't need it. You thought you could be my friend. Maybe things would have worked out if you hadn't sent me to an early grave. I'm coming for you, Prince. We'll see how much your arm curls will save you when you're looking down the barrel of a loaded zombie.
Ron Steerling's not a man you defeat in the ring. And Ash is standing in the doorway, leaning against the door frame.
And she whips around.
You want to know how to kill Ron Steerling. It's not something you do with your hands, or your knives, or even a bus. Ron Steerling is a man you attack here, in his ego. Because those biceps, those washboard abs, and all the million glistening muscles in the world, man's a tank. But his ego, that's the weak spot. Attack the belt, attack the t-shirt, and you kill the man.
Who better to tell me all about Ron's delicate little insides and where to push to make him hurt the most than his former partner? And Katrina walks over to the wall, which has a rack of chairs with a bow on them, and she unhinges 2 of them, and on the back of them they're branded Cat Meadows,
No, it
steel
looks
chairs.
it's cat's rack, I think.
Right.
isn't it?
It's with a little like
Yeah.
from Cat with love
Yeah.
sticker on them.
I love
And she
it.
folds them down and they say respect the chair all over them.
Yeah.
And she plants 2 of them down and she sits and she gestures for Ash and says, "Why don't you and I have a long heart to heart?"
And Ash walks over and does the Riker over the back of the chair.
Yeah.
Nice layer. And then like leans in.
I think that's where we cut.
I love it. I love it so much. Were you pulling any moves in this moment? Because you're welcome to roll for moves if you're pulling any. I just don't ever know where to call it for y'all sometimes. So
I mean, I felt like it was cutting a promo.
it felt
Yeah.
like you were cutting a promo against
Yeah.
Ron. I felt
Yeah.
like it, but I never know. So
I think that's what it is.
okay.
Yeah, that feels fair.
I loved that Roomba promo. Everyone should go look that up.
It was so
Yes.
good.
I forget who it is, but
Chris Jericho,
Chris
Chris
Jericho.
Jericho cutting a promo against a Roomba.
Yeah.
always I've never respected you. Always crawling around on the ground. Look at me like that. It cuts over to the friggin' Roomba.
So good.
That promo was so good.
I think Chris Jericho can cut a promo about anything and you believe it. That's what he's so good at it. Oh.
Yes, this is true.
So I'm cutting a promo against both Ron and the cook.
Yeah, that's
Mostly
fair.
Ron.
But mostly Ron.
I already have all of the heat with Ron.
I will let you take a heat against the cook if you want.
No, I'm just gonna take a momentum.
Okay, that's fair.
Yep.
Okay. We open on Ron sitting in front of a computer. It's commercial time for the PWN merch site.
Oh no. Oh yes.
Hey, everybody. You probably have a personal computer at home, just like me. And I just want to let you know that we have a brand new site for you to check out. Open up AOL, type in keyword PWN. It's going to pull up the PWN site. And from there, you can find the shop, where you can find this shirt right here. Now, the people around here, they can't be me. But that doesn't mean that you can't be me. Get my new shirt. Online now. Orders of over $200 get free shipping.
That's good.
PWM shop. Buy some merch.
I like it. And we open on the ring. Where Ramiro and Johnny are at the announce table.
Well, Johnny, it's looking like it's gonna be it's already shaping up to be a action-packed evening here at PWN. A lot of action, a lot of energy, and it's only gonna go uphill from here. The tensions are rising. It's boiling over. There's every possible burner is on high. What do you think we got coming up next?
Well, Ramiro, I feel like whatever is coming for us, it is going to be quite thrilling, and I feel that we will most definitely have it be memorable.
Fantastic, Johnny. Honestly, your enthusiasm for every single thing never fails to get me pumped up. And that's just exactly the kind of energy that we want to see here at PWN present Slaughter. This next match that we've got coming up, it's going to be a real scorcher. It's going to have mayhem. It's going to have heartbreak. It's going to have blood, sweat, and tears all over the ring. Just an incredible matchup. one that will surely come to me and in my mind's eye momentarily, but probably will involve at least 2 wrestlers. Just double checking my mental notes that it will in fact be.
Idiot, and pick the wrong announcers because she dumb. Don't mind me.
I was wondering,
I'm
but I figured I'd let it
stupid.
ride.
I was wondering about that too. I was like, oh.
Are you two
We're
supposed to be
gonna
out
we're
here?
gonna announce our own match.
No, because Kate wrote the wrong people in the wrong spot. I'm sorry. It's Rory and Benny. Don't mind Kate. She can't read her own notes.
Johnny, I'm being told that we're actually at the wrong desk.
Yeah. The run
oh.
of show was backwards. Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm very sorry. That
Sorry, my bad.
there was a change of staff recently. Everything is all screwed up. It's all cattywampus. It's
Yeah, we're calling the new children's division. Sorry, we've got to be over in the next arena over. I hear that Super Brover is going to be taking on his ally, Large Bird.
Large,
I think you're looking for
Large
massive
waterfowl.
foul.
Yeah,
Large
massive
water
foul.
massive foul.
Massive foul.
Writing that shit down. Massive foul. Done.
Oh, he's party foul.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
He's a
I
big
forgot.
like '90s chicken surfer, like Poochie.
Oh my
I
God,
completely forgot he
yes.
changed his gimmick when he came over from Santa Fe. My apologies.
Oh
It's
my
party
God.
foul.
Party foul. Oh, that's so good. Okay, anyway.
My new
Okay.
NPC.
All right, sorry. Rory and Benny. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
So they get up and like awkwardly shuffle off.
Awful shuffle.
I can never get over the shape that Ramiro has. That man is just built like an upside down triangle.
It's really incredible that he doesn't
Go
topple
retail.
over.
Yeah.
Doesn't topple over and kill the first 3 front rows. But
Uh,
you know, I have a ton of respect for him, and you should too. You know, people's bodies, they can't always choose how they look, how they feel, how they are. It's a very complicated thing, Rory. Anyway, you were
Indeed.
going to tell me what fashionista means.
Actually, I want to talk about Johnny Wong for a brief second.
Oh, absolutely.
That man is as bland as a raw potato, but you put him with something spicy like Ramiro, and that's a match made in heaven. That's some good announcing.
That's a mash made in heaven. You mash those two together.
Anyway,
I didn't
we
think
have a
that
match
through.
coming up. Katrina Calavera is taking on the Cook. I'm sure they're gonna throw some oil on a hot
Sure is.
pan, and we're gonna see what they can cook up.
Yeah, it's gonna be absolutely sizzling. It's gonna be burning. It's gonna be hot. It's gonna be delicious. I'm really hungry. I hear music.
That
guess
is
the
the other
Cook-
because I hear music.
The Cook striding into the arena now. Is he panned? Are you panned tonight, Cook?
Yeah. So the Cook comes out. He's not wearing his normal attire. He's actually decked out completely differently. He actually has. So he still wears his black shorts and his black boots, but he actually has like a bandolier full of spices, and then comes out this time, and he's actually like he's dual wielding both of his cast iron pans, and you notice that the cast iron pans this time have like holy symbols of different religions all etched on all of them.
So you've got like all sorts of different religions.
Yeah, the Cook at his coexist frying pan.
And you notice that he's also has like he has several pouches on his belt, and it's just like a mixture. And you just notice it's also all like these weird like religious iconographies. It's like holy water, like talismans, everything.
Why does he look like somebody smashed the Pope into Chewbacca? What's going on there?
Please clip that. Please clip that.
I don't even know what to say to that, Betty. That was a really spot-on analogy.
Thank you. I'm a professional. I've been doing this for 40 years. I'm a professional.
Say 40 or 4?
I don't appreciate your insinuation, Roy. Don't appreciate it.
Oh my God.
The cook looks like that bit in this the Mummy. Just,
Yeah,
calling out
right?
Every
Every single
Penny,
possible
yep.
holy symbol ever. Oh,
Yep.
So funny.
Uh,
Oh, are you doing
well,
anything
that's
else? Sorry.
and he gets into the ring, and he grabs a mic,
Oh,
and he
nice.
says, "Tonight, we're going to sanctify this stadium, and we're gonna clean out this fridge."
Are you working the audience or cutting promo? Because I have no fucking clue.
You know,
I don't even know, Jackie.
even I, as the player, don't even know.
Are you speaking?
Um,
Are you speaking your mind, or are you pumping up, yelling at, or otherwise working the audience into
Yeah.
cheering or jeering at you?
Probably working the audience.
Okay.
So we're gonna go with that. So we
All plus-
reset. So we reset. So I'm at 2 audience. So let's see. Oh, nice. That is actually a 10. Wow.
You get 2
so
momentum, and the audience is like, take her out. You know, lose their minds because they're the audience. That's what they do.
mhm.
For a nice pasta dinner.
Yeah. Benny says that.
You should take her out for a nice pasta dinner.
There you go.
Music. Loud
Yeah,
music.
so the Blood Moon logo comes up on the Jumbotron. So it's the big red moon through the clouds, and then like a wolf howl. But then like it gets cut in half, like a screen, like.
Oh, I
shush.
love that.
And then instead it's Katrina Calavera's like logo.
So good.
And at the same time, she rips through a massive curtain that's over her entrance, and so she comes out. Except instead of her normal like biker jacket with the Blood Moon logo, she's in her like solo gear modified. So it's a hazmat suit, like an orange, like safety orange jumpsuit with the sleeves rolled up. And on the back it just says this giant in giant text biohazard. She's got her half zombie makeup on, her red lenses, jumpsuit's tucked into combat boots, and it's like artfully unzipped, like halfway or so. She's still got a halter top underneath, but her arms are like all done up in the bandages that are like covered in blood. And she just like strides in, carrying a coffin over her head that she dumps at the edge of the ring, and like looks around, like gets up in people's faces as they as she's like walking around the ring temporarily, like snarling at people. Climbs into the ring, pulls herself up, gets up on the top rope, and like does a good recreation of her like old, like when she was Death Blossom, like a callback to that like entrance pose where she's up on the ring and like before just like howling, throwing her head back and howling, and then slams onto the mat and just like cracks her neck, shrugs her shoulders, gets ready to go.
And here comes Katrina Calavera, our Resident Evil.
She is a terrifying, what I presume to be human.
If I didn't have a pacemaker, my heart would probably have stopped.
I'm assuming that you're making this a casket match. I'm just
Yes.
gonna assume.
Yeah.
Like for every match. It would
Every
be a
match.
casket-
Why would I
it
not?
would be a casket match because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Normal pinfall or casket.
Or casket. I'm gonna start with Katrina in control.
Okay. So she gets right up into the cook's face, and I think looks at the frying pans, and just like laughs, like, "You think that's gonna stop me? All right. Let's see what your toys can do." And she starts off by like headbutting the cook backwards, so he's like reeling, and she goes for like overhead swing, and I think the cook like bobs and weaves out of it. Like, I know your gimmick. Like, this is what you do. Whatever. And I think the cook gets like a good, like swing with the blessed cast iron pan to like smack her across her face, and she responds by like grabbing it, and like this is the first time that she's ever responded to pain, and she like pulls her hand back, and where her hand was there's like a scorch mark, and she looks at him and she's like, you shouldn't have done that. Want to wrestle with heat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
This
feel
is
like-
gimmick.
Because this is
Yeah.
gimmick, yeah.
Yeah.
This is gimmick. Yeah.
All right, so
yeah.
we have one heat, I think.
It's
So you
gonna be
can
a
use
hot.
you can use look if you want as well, depending, because this is gimmick.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a hot
yeah.
pan on the old face tonight.
I've got 0 look. My other move. It's not about physically dominating an opponent, so I'm just gonna roll flat 2d6, and we'll see what happens.
I prefer my 2d6 to be cubed.
Ooh. So that's a botch. So I get countered, which makes sense. I think
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
bash is the counter. So I give the cook a momentum, and the
Okay.
cook now has control.
Um.
I like that.
So, all right. So the cook is going to look at the kind of look at the cast iron pan for a minute, and it's just like, wow, that actually worked. And he's actually going to, and then you start seeing him do something completely different, where it's he's basically going to kind of do like a slice and dice style of with his with the cast iron hands, like try to just bop, and Katrina's gonna actually try to avoid it now that it actually hurts her. So a couple comes in, and then what he's going to do is that he's actually gonna drop low and try to do a low kick to knock Katrina prone, and when that Katrina's gonna actually see that coming and then try to just jump forward and try to grab the cook by the face, and we're gonna see what happens with that.
Okay.
I like it.
I feel like this feels like do you feel like it's work, or do you feel like it's heat?
I feel like it's work. I think you're just
Okay.
running the match right now.
Yeah. All right. That sounds fine. So work. Oh, thank God. So that's an 8.
Okay. So you can
Um,
retain control in transition or give your opponent control and gain a momentum.
Let's give it back to Katrina, because I want to see where where we go from here.
So you're trying to drop her with your kick, right?
Yeah, try to drop her, but she saw it coming, so she's going for the face.
Yeah, she dodges. I think grabs your leg while you're kicking, and uses that to slam you down.
Ooh,
And I want to spend 2 heat to do an underhanded move.
Ooh, I love it.
Right, so she's just like, oh, hey, kick, yoink, boom, puts her foot on the cook's chest. I'm like, oh, come on, like, do better. Everyone, I think that responds to that in the audience is like, oh no, right? And she looks at them like, oh, come on, boo. Get better taste.
Katrina,
gaining-
I'm all impressed with the cook's offerings today.
Yeah, she's gonna take. I'm gonna take a heat
I figured. Okay, cool.
with him, so I need to build that heat.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
Uh huh. And then, goodness, I'm gonna try and let's try and dominate the cook physically, 'cause that's what we do.
Yeah.
That's what she does.
Mhm.
She's got the boot on him like does a couple of like kicks to the face, just like standing up just straight, like boom, boom, boom. So he's like, oh no. And then she climbs up onto the rope, and she looks around and she's like, "You remember this one?" And she does a frog splash onto him, and just bam, lands on him, and grabs his leg, like puts him in a really nasty lock where both of his legs are being pulled up by her. And she's not even trying to pin necessarily; she's just doing it to like rub it in. Like, how do you like this? Try and exercise me, will you? Well, I'm gonna work you out.
Oh, this is so good.
See, Katrina with that lucha background. You just try to kick her, she's not going to be impressed. She's putting on a real display of the incredible power of acrobatics from south of the border.
She is bringing everything to this match, and the cook's menu is just not up to snuff.
So she wrestles with power there and gives back control to the cook and takes some momentum.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. So while Katrina has the cook's legs kind of curled up, he's gonna take one of the jars out of the bandolier, and you realize it's a white powder, and then you just see it clearly labeled in giant plain text labeling, and it just says salt.
She's not a ghost.
It works on all forms of evil.
We don't know.
Okay.
You don't know.
We've never established in the
That's fair. We
mythos
don't
what
know
her
what
deal
she
is.
Fair.
So
you know how you defeat a zombie, Kate? However the hell you want, because they're not
That's
real.
fair. That's fair. We can do whatever we want. It's fair. Oh, that's funny.
He unscrews it, and he actually throws some of the salt right into his face. And
oh my gosh.
and I want to say, like, it actually leaves like a little. You start seeing like if it doesn't hit all of Katrina's face, but some of it that lands on the body, you start seeing like this sizzling effect occur. There's a little bit of smoke, and you just and that I will let and I think that's enough pain where Katrina lets go, and that's how the cook gets out of that pin. And
she's like rolling around and like pawing at her skin and like, get it off.
And so I'm gonna spend 2 momentum to use my babyface maneuver and add a stipulation to this match. The stipulation is Olive Oil's been on the sidelines reading the Book of the Dead to cast an incantation to put Katrina back into the realm of the dead.
So what is the stipulation? Look, how does this work? Tell me how this works. Tell me your thought process so that I know what you're thinking.
So Olive Oil literally like has the book, and it's actually trying to like finish the ritual.
Okay,
like,
so Olive Oil is trying to cast a ritual on the side of the ring.
Yes.
Does
So
Yes.
this has also become a ritual match.
This has become a ritual match.
So Olive Oil is in full on like so you're not only like in your own like Olive Oil is full on like Wiccan garments, like white Wiccan garments, hung about with flowers and stuff, and she's got chalk and she's like making arcane symbols all around the ring and trying to read and cast a spell. Okay, that's fine. This is happening.
Yes, there's a ring of salt to protect
Yeah.
her. There's
Yeah.
like candles.
Yep. I'm with it. That's freaking hilarious.
Excuse me, Miss Oil. What are you doing? What you can't?
She's just chanting in Latin. You have no idea what she's chanting.
Roy, do you understand Latin? Do you know what she's saying?
She is saying, "Begone, begone, evil demon."
Foul spirit
Return.
of the
Yeah.
spirit of the dead. Return to whence you came. Blah 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 blah.
I would actually like to interrupt the match, but I would like to do so via the Jumbotron.
Oh, Ron?
Yeah.
Ron would like to do. Okay.
Yeah. So.
Do you want your music to play?
No.
Okay.
I say, if you don't want to do a run-in, you can burn a momentum at any time to just interrupt.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Up on the jumbotron are 3 hooded figures with
the hell?
large tomes in front of them, and they are chanting in Latin. And then it cuts, and you see the bus driving on the street, and then it jump cuts to the bus careening off the cliff.
Oh, this is
And then-
so good.
And then it jump cuts again to the fireball afterwards. And then it plays in reverse all at once. And one of the hoods, they're looking down at their tomes, looks up, and in English says, "Return from wherever you came from. We wish to have Death Blossom back." And then there's a large pyro display on the stage that goes off with fire and smoke. The lights go black, and when they come, when the lights come back, Katrina is laying on the mat, just down.
What? I don't understand what just happened. I feel like my soul's just been sucked out of my chest. Rory, are you all right, Rory? What's going on?
That was fucking badass, man.
Pretty sure we cannot say that on public access, but yes, that was, to put it succinctly, badass.
You can say fuck on the show. Oh my god.
It's the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm an old man. I've been doing this for 40 years.
I don't know who has control of the match. Just
Oh, I still do. I was
Murph
still
has
just doing
control now.
I don't know. Yeah.
I believe that Simon has control of Katrina and what happens here at the
Yeah.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
will
she's
give-
like splayed out,
yeah.
and like I think gets to her feet slowly. She's like struggling. She's like clearly like being drained, or something's happening to her. And she's like reaching for something in her leg, and she ends up pulling out the boot knife that we saw earlier, and hucks it, but it goes straight for the book that Olive Oil is holding, and it catches it and knocks it out of her hands.
Nice.
So I'm spending 2 momentum to do an underhanded thing
I love it. I love
to get another
it.
heat with the cook. And she gets up, so she's like, while the spell is broken temporarily, she's like,
Yeah.
okay, now I got a little strength. And she yells back, like, it's gonna take more than a bunch of dead languages to stop me.
That's the best undead clapback ever.
So good.
Bound in human
I don't think
flesh.
Kate was prepared for what I had in store.
No, but it's so good. I don't even care. Yes. Have.
Bound in human flesh, inked in human blood, but today, grit is what will rule in the ring.
I feel like Katrina's in control unless you really want to
Yeah.
have control.
I mean, I'll take it. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
Because you can give control at any time too. You don't have to. Yeah.
Yeah. She's getting to her feet. She crawls over to the desk, the announcer desk. Scoops up a microphone temporarily. Says, "I'll give this right back. But I need you to know something, Cook. I know you're afraid of me, and that's the only reason you've gone soft. You don't think you can stand up to me. So you just want to live out your life, running a little bed and breakfast outside of Hoboken with your partner, the Chad, having your little picnics out in the woods, doing all those kinds of things, because you know, you and I both know, you never were cut out for this promotion. You weren't cut out to be a wrestler. You just want to go back to being a Michelin star rated chef? You think that just working out every day and getting big muscles is enough to come out and be a top list wrestler? Nuh-uh. I'll show you. The only place that you belong is back in the kitchen, and I'm gonna put you there."
That's a cut of promo 5 or someone.
She hucks the hucks the mic back on the stage.
Oh,
That's
okay.
cut a promo if I ever saw one.
So it's 5, and I have no momentum.
I'll absolutely put you over for that. Yeah,
Alright.
we need that microphone. Excuse me. Katrina Calavera in rare form tonight. I can see why they felt the need to perform an exorcism. I mean, honestly, not since the last time I was in Dallas have I seen someone actually have to cast a spirit out of their body in the middle of a show. But Katrina, I feel like there's no soul here to purify. There's no demon to cast out. It's just her.
Betty, I disagree. I think today we've seen a lot of the old Death Blossom in Katrina Calavera. I think the exorcism was disrupted, but was underway.
Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
I'm assuming you're taking a heat.
I took a heat.
Yeah.
She throws the microphone back, and she like cracks her neck again. She's like, "All right, let's get back into it," and starts storming towards the cook. But I'm gonna give control back to the cook.
Okay. The cook sees Katrina approaching, and he's like, "Yeah, I know I've always been not cut out for this promotion, but you know what? The only thing I care about right now, the only thing I really want to do is bring Death Blossom back, and I will do whatever it takes." And so we're going to, let's see. So as Katrina is probably will, I want to say bull rush the cook at that point, and so let me see. I feel like the cook is going to try to just dodge it and then whack the side of Katrina with one of the cast iron pants, and leaves another singe on like the back, and at that point Katrina's gonna get to the rope, bounce, and lean in hard, and then try to bullet, and then use that to kind of rebound and bullet back towards the cook. And I'm gonna say like shoulder rush the cook, and we'll see what we do from here. Gonna try to knock the cook off his ground, leave an opening. Let's see. Okay, that is probably work. So we're gonna go. So that is an 8. So I'll retain control, and what's gonna happen is, so the cook gets shoulder rushed, and he actually takes it. And what the cook does is he takes both the cast iron pans and like and simultaneously slams on both sides of Katrina, and you just see now the shoulders just searing, and it's just like, now we're getting into the kitchen. And he's gonna try. He like gives a quick shout to Oliver, "Finish the ritual!" And he's going to try and lean Katrina back to the coffin and put Katrina into the coffin.
Oh, snap.
as if using 2 spatulas to lift a sandwich into a plate.
I feel at this moment, I need to tell everyone that Katrina is booked to win. So do with that what you all will.
I would like to run in as Ash.
You're gonna run in as Ash?
Yes.
I would very much like to run in as Ash.
Okay.
But specifically, not so much into the ring, but I want to run in on olive oil. By extension, the cook, of course, who's the ultimate target of this. But Ash is just going to like shoot into the arena. She's dragging one of the chairs from the earlier scene, one of the
Oh, I love it.
The Cat Meadows chairs.
yeah,
So good. I love that callback.
and she's gonna like run, like she's like Olive Oil's got the book open and is like, you know, reading the passage or whatever from it, and Ash kind of like gets all the way up to her with the chair and then just kind of like stops short, and Olive Oil kind of turns her head around, and Ash just sort of shrugs and shoves the chair into her, like she was about to take a massive chair shot, but then Ash is like, "You're a manager." Ugh.
So,
she goes,
question: are you interrupting or are you running in? Because you can do either.
"I'm running. This is a run-in."
Okay.
So that's what I'm going for. Let me roll plus heat. Oh, right, I gotta check what heat I have with the cook. Where's my heat? I have so much heat listed for so many people in my notes. I'm really bad at this. +3, I have a +3.
Hot.
I'm very hot with the cook right now.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Not that it matters, I rolled a 11 before that, so... rolled like a 14 or whatever. Okay.
You
10
get
plus.
to pick though.
The hot
You
angle.
both gain a heat.
So,
Mhm.
Alright,
The
so I
cook
gain 1 heat
and-
with the cook, which is awesome. We're now at 4 heat.
Ash both
Yep.
And
add
I
heat.
pick one from the 7 to 9 list.
Yes, you do.
Alright. My interference doesn't change the result of the match, but their opponent comes after you for interfering their business? Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
that's...
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I feel like we're gonna go for that one. So yeah, she takes the chair, goes down. Ash scoops up the book and says, shouts, "Katrina Calavera, your wrathful spirit is free!" And the book bursts into flames.
Holy shit!
That's such good shit.
I think she's got the frying pans like pressed into her, and she like screams and does the hands up, and then breaks out the grip, and then grabs the cook with both hands around the neck and lifts him up off the ground, but like really close. And she's been on the ropes. She lifts him up and turns him around and just stares at him. And I want to use my stare down move
Yes.
Mhm.
plus my heat with him, which is 3.
Good.
And there's a 13.
Nice.
So I get to pick 2 things. I gain +1 heat with the cook, and the cook takes +1 heat with me.
Nice.
Okay. Oh, I have you at 4 now, heat. So
Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted.
there we go.
We're both at +4 heat with each other.
Yes.
Gotta lift everybody up. We're playing support now.
Good shit. That's the good shit.
That's that good. Yeah, so
That's a good
she's
good.
she's got the cook by the neck. The frying pans are on the ground. She like kicks them off to the side out of the ring. And she says, You really thought that would work, didn't you, Cookie? You bringing in your assistant, having to go outside, even bringing in Ron into our little tete-a-tete. Can't even solve your own problems by yourself, can you, little man? Well, I'm going to show you the real power that's inside. I have to admit. And she's like got him like hanging. She climbs up onto the ropes, holding him with the other hand by
Over
the
the
neck.
coffin.
Somehow, right over the coffin.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
I have to admit, you really had me there for a second. But there's one thing you didn't count on. I'm unkillable. He drops him into the coffin. Slowly walks down,
Good.
slams the coffin shut, climbs on top of it, and just howls and looks at everyone in the audience, like spit flying out of her mouth as she's like barking at them like a dog. And she says, This is your king? Your cook? Your top star chef? Oh, you fools. This whole time you've been rooting for the wrong guy. You thought that you were gonna have a 5-star meal served to you. But it turns out he's just another line cook at a greasy spoon. This boy, he was once popular. He was once tough. But then he let a silly little thing get in his head, decide that he was going to be a nice guy for once. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Nice guys finish last. And she pounds the nails into the coffin and like shoves it off the way, and
good.
like slowly walks, like steps over Olive Oil, who's like cowering on the ground,
Yeah.
and walks out of the ring.
Well, I gotta tell ya, once upon a time, Rory, I would have believed that love conquers all, but truly, some combination of hatred and fear and
maybe some kind of infernal energies permeating the arena are what took it home today.
Rory's eyes have rolled up, and you just see whites, and he responds in all Latin.
And now we're gonna go to break, my friends. That's where we're gonna go to break.
I need a cigarette. I need a smoke.
Hear Latin.
I hear Latin.
So we're gonna go to break. We'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Hang around. You don't want to miss the title match. I promise you, it's gonna be great. We'll be right back, my friends.
Real quick before we go to break, we do need to announce our VIP.
Excuse me, we need to announce our VIP patrons. Just a moment. I'm just getting word that we updated that list today, so I'm very hurriedly calling that up because I was. Oh God, where did I put it? Here it is. I've got it in this file. There we go, patreon.png. It's very good. Here we are. Yes, special thanks to our $10 plus supporters on Patreon. That includes Jack C, Donald G, Nerdy T, Michelle E, Abigator, and our newest entry, I believe, Anino? I hope is how you pronounce that. I was not given notes on how to say these names, but thank you. I was given notes to thank you. I want to thank every last one of you for giving money to Patreon to this wonderful channel. My voice is starting to go, so I gotta call it here, folks. We're gonna catch you right after this break. Hang on. Now I gotta do the overlay. There we go. We'll be right back.
Today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a $1 or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
we're back. We had some new subs over the break. Thank you very much to Michael Wayne for gifting us that. We appreciate you and love you very much. And also thank you to Techie Gamer for subbing. We love you and we're glad you're here. All right, let's get back into the game. Katrina has just casketed the cook who tried to exorcise her and turn her back into Death Blossom unsuccessfully. Da, 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 da. We are in the locker room where Ash has a protein now bar in her hand.
Oh man.
Where the fuck is she?
Protein now bar. It's in the fancy new locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than the old locker room. Protein now is what we're calling these things now. Let's just start someone off screen. Protein now is what we're calling these things? Okay, whatever. I can keep it straight, whatever. As straight as I ever can. Are we live? Yeah. Hey, protein now bars. Alright, so this thing is a bar and it's full of protein. And right now, I'm gonna put one in my face because I am honestly starving. Like, I haven't had anything to eat all day. Now, the great thing about this bar is that they're completely full of the nuts and the protein. And you need... Go me. And they're really great between meals, and if you ever find yourself just like, God, these things are actually really good. Going on today.
Cut. Wow.
If I'd have known you were gonna do this, I would have kept the granola bar I was actually eating not 2 minutes ago.
Oh, that would have been funny. All right, the cook.
Man.
What are you doing? Are you alive? Are you breaking out of the coffin?
Well, so first of all, he's just like you see the camera pans to him inside of the casket. It's dark mostly, but we bought like a night vision camera, the one night vision camera. So
it's that weird green like.
Mm-hmm.
His eyes
and he's just.
I'm getting like Lance Burton buried alive flashbacks right now. I'm just telling you.
Yeah. So he's just kind of like he's inside and he's looking at it. He's actually calm. He's just like, oh, I figured that didn't work. Well, we almost got there. And he's like, and you realize he's actually talking to himself the entire time.
I like just that. I think that we don't even need to get you out of it. It's just you laying in there talking to yourself.
He's like, well, wonder if I actually put enough basil in that last carbonara. Probably need to put less basil next time. And he's like, oh, and then he realizes, he's like, wait, this is not the holy basil I was supposed to use for this match. Oh, darn.
I love it. And then it cuts to Ron, what are you doing to prepare for this match?
Ron is actually sitting in a small room off the side, like a trainer's room.
Sure. Ron can have his own dressing room now. You have enough money.
Perfect. Ron's in his dressing room. There is a TV on the wall, and he pops in a tape into the VCR. And it starts, it comes up with like black and white text, and it goes, Ronald Sterling and Ashley trial tapes. And it's the two of them in the dojo training together. Ron is very clearly like super small, super scrawny guy, and Ash is showing him the ropes and like how to take bumps and stuff like that. And he watches and he kind of nods, and then it like after a little bit it gets really fuzzy and cuts to something that had been taped over this video, and it's a Birds of Prey like promo video that like shows the two of them as like young up and coming wrestlers in a tag team, and has like some of their like more memorable like promo segments, Ron developing the Vulcan symbol in the backgrounds of their promos. And even back then, Ash was the one that was talking through the majority of their promos, and Ron was just simply like there. After like a 30-second spot of like their best moments, it has something taped over it again, which is the moment when Ron turned on Ash and decided to go out on his own. And like you can see him like he's like pointing and he's yelling and saying some like really unfavorable things to Phoenix about her holding him back and how he was destined for greatness, and like he had to go off on his own. And then it's going to kind of fuzz and fade out, and Ron's going to be standing by the TV at this point with a championship belt over his shoulder. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. Some people think that me going out on my own broke up a really good thing. And maybe the way I handled it wasn't the best. But I'm destined for greatness. And I'm coming for that belt. And then Ron's going to exit and make his way to the ring.
Nice.
Since you were watching that on the TV, I almost want it to be like that last thing like cuts off on the tape, and then we see you like reflected in that same screen.
Yeah.
As you're delivering that, like
It's so
I
good.
love it. So
Very
good. We open on the ring, where Ramiro and Johnny are at the table in the right place this time.
Hey, that kind of makes sense almost. Because they're not going to be in this match.
I'm
they could be calling it.
sorry.
It
Sometimes
it's like really good,
I'm not perfect. Hey, I'm not perfect.
Next time on Kimberly Explains the Joke.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks.
Listen, not all announcers look the same.
You see this, Fox?
I don't actually. I'm looking over here. Oh no, I've got you on my TV over there. I am seeing it. Damn it. I've made a terrible mistake.
Well, Johnny, I gotta say, I was not expecting a match between Super Brover and Party Foul to be such an incredible experience, but I'm sure you should tune in and make sure you watch the replay of it. It was absolutely fantastic. But we're here to call a far greater, higher stakes match right now. It's going to be a real rip snorter of a match, a real slobber knocker as these two titans, Ash and Ron Sterling, wade into the ring and settle some old grudges. It's a double championship match. Somebody's coming home with belts, plural, and somebody's going home with a lot of shattered dreams.
Yes, indeed. Tonight's going to be quite the interesting match. It is going to be a titanic match, not so much so than that recent film, but it is definitely going to be monumental as well. And then you see in front of Johnny is new PWN action figures
Of all the wrestlers? Oh
yes.
my god!
Because we have the budget for it now. And the thing is, Johnny has no emotion whatsoever, so it's just easy for him to like put stuff in front of him for merch splashing because he doesn't react. So there's no fear of anything being knocked over or being broken.
Oh my god, that's so freaking good! Alright.
I'm looking forward to tonight's match, Ramiro. This should prove to be, how should they put it? Electrifying.
That's right. It's a real live wire here. And coming down the third rail, it's Ash, ready to light the whole place up and burn it down. A lot of mixed metaphors going on here, but surely there will be a lot of shocking and awing as Ash steps into the ring.
As I turn out like onto the ramp, there's like these two little like tiny braziers set up on either side of the path. And as I'm walking down, I just kind of like hold my arms out, and as they pass through the flames, some kind of like fire gel that's on my arms just ignites.
Nice.
So both of my arms go up in fire, And I take like a step and a half, and then there's like 2 tubs on either side full of ashes. That's why I just kind of come up, they're on fire, and boom, immediately put them out. And then just pull my hands out of the ash and like fling it out, kind of out to the side as I make my way up in towards the ring. And I've got the belt kind of slung up, I guess, over my shoulder as I'm doing all of this. And I climb up the steps, climb in, go through the ropes, do the kind of to the crowd, just holding my arms up. And then I walk over and scoop up a microphone off of the floor. Ron Sterling, the Prince of Fab. I think you and I both know how this match is going to end tonight. Because I think you and I both are keenly aware that no woman is ever going to hold the AAA title in this promotion. And I think we all know exactly why that is the case. So I'm not going to waste these people's time out here tonight. If all you're looking for, and she takes the belt, holds it up, if all you're looking for is to put another cheap piece of metal and leather on your wall, she throws the belt into the middle of the ring. Have it with my blessing. But if you're here tonight to shake the earth, to pull down these walls, if you're here tonight to watch Titans rip this entire arena apart, if you're here tonight, Ron, to actually wrestle, then get inside my ring. She tosses the microphone aside.
Are you breaking kayfabe? Speaking truth to power? Is it, I don't know if this is one of your moves or...
oh, good point, because I do have...
yeah.
What the fuck is it called? I've got...
And you've got some move where you like can...
Right, Mouth of the People, speak truth to
power.
power.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, yeah.
No, because this is more me... I'm really more calling out Ron here, honestly.
Okay, that's fine. So, cut a promo?
Yeah, this feels more like cut a promo.
Okay.
So, when you cut a promo... Oh god, you roll plus the look. Right. I always forget about that. 10 minus 2 is an 8.
That's not bad.
No, that's fine. That's passing. So, you get them to pay attention and pick one. I'm going to take +1 heat with Ron.
I like it. Okay.
God, got +4 heat with Super Brover. This game.
It's the best.
This game
Best game.
Bring him out. Somebody donate bits and I'll bring out Belmo.
Belmo to call the match. Totally.
Yeah, and then Ash just stands in the ring and waits with her belt tossed into the middle of it.
So Ron's got a new entrance video that plays.
Is it
comes
playing
up-
before his music?
It comes up right before.
Okay.
Okay. And it's just his abs.
Oh god.
And it goes 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yo, we just got
5,
bits,
6,
by the way.
7, 8. And then in his voice, it goes, "You can't be me," and then his music hits.
Okay, so we just got bits. So Belmo is also calling this match. So just give us a moment to get set up, and then I will. We'll do the. Oh my god, I love Belmo so much.
Belmo is back.
Thank you, Burn His Truths, and thank you, Simon, for doing double duty again.
I have them on speed dial right behind me.
I love it. Makes me so happy. Okay, all right, here we go. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
7, 8.
7, 8, and then it does. You can't be me,
You can't be me. Yep.
and then. There we go. This is so good.
Belmo's here. Belmo heard Ron's music.
Welcome back to the promotion, Belmo. It is good to see you again.
Thank you, Johnny. Always a pleasure to share the announcer table with a fine, upstanding member of the community.
Yes,
Belmo.
good to have you back, and we are very enthusiastic to have your commentary for tonight.
Sorry, Belmo just has to vibe for a minute.
Understandable. It is very appealing and catchy.
Ron comes out and kind of plays up to the crowd, walks down to the ring, slides in, grabs the mic that Ash had just thrown down. Since day one, I've been here to wrestle. And when you wrestle well, like me, you earn these. And he's gonna hold it up. So if you want to defend your title in a wrestling match, we can do that. But if you want to give it away, you can go give it to the kid over in 6B.
It's that same kid who's been there, that same super Ron fan.
Yeah.
And he's got all his Ron merch on, like the beanie shirt. He's got
And
the
now
Ron, he's got the Prince of Fab sunglasses, and he's like, ah! Like just losing his mind.
And he also has like the Prince, and he has the Ron action figure now.
Yeah, the Ron action figure's losing his mind. He's like, ah!
And then Ron continues, so we're about to tear it down, and when we get done, we're going to have The Rock and Stone Cold knocking on our doors. And he's going to throw the mic at her.
I think I'm going to make Ash have control to start.
All right. Yeah. Ash kind of, the two of them get into like little like ready stances. Like, all right, I'm gonna, yeah. They start kind of circling, and Ash just very quickly like steps in and like kind of goes for a quick chop, and Ron like grabs her hand, and then does the kind of like pushing it back, like forcing her down. Like she's kind of like trying to force back against him, and she goes back down, almost like a test of strength kind of thing of just like, but it's just the one hand, and like forces her down onto one knee, and like right as she hits the floor, she then pulls in with that arm and goes up for like a headbutt, just like boom, straight into Ron right at the start. Which that feels like a work.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's wrestling.
That feels like it worked to me.
That's just wrestling.
Just wrestling.
That's just
Belmo's not sure his tiny firm heart can take this.
It is going to be quite indeed the emotional roller coaster.
That is a 10.
Okay.
So I'm going to retain control and choose to take one more heat with Ron. Perfect.
What are you
It's
at?
an emotional
Are you
roller
at
coaster.
4?
Belmo's not sure he's
That's me
big
at
enough to ride it.
I love the hands in that spot because it makes him look so concerned. So
As Ron
happy.
kind of like reels back and he's like holding his head, Ash goes in and let's see what she's low on the ground, so she's just kind of, actually no, as she comes up and he's kind of like bent over from that, she's brings in her fist down and like a hammer blow, just like boom into the middle of his back, and he like splats into the onto the canvas below, and she like runs over, backs up onto the ropes to kind of like spring off of them, and jumps and goes to do like just an elbow drop, just boing, going for an elbow drop on him. But like at the last second, Ron just kind of like rolls out of the way, and she just splats onto the canvas. And I think he kind of like rolls up like onto his feet at that point. Picks like her up and just hurls her into the nearest turnbuckle, and goes for a super kick.
Well, Ramiro and Belmo, this goes to show that when you have a team, a former team, I should say, who has worked together and trained together for as long as these two have, anything is possible, and it is nothing but vicious.
That's absolutely right, Johnny. There's a lot of beef here and a lot of bad blood, and it's all gonna come to a head.
Yep, Bearmer is on the edge of his metaphorical seat
What do you want to roll plus on that?
You can roll
I think it still work.
work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it still work.
That's a hot botch.
Ooh. Give a momentum to Ron,
So Ron gets a momentum.
Woo-wee.
and Ron is now in control.
You're in control.
It's about
So-
to get buck wild.
Ron hits her clean with a super kick in the corner. Irish whips her into the other corner, runs and does a running knee strike up near her face. Brings her kind of back down in like a headlock and plants her face in the mat with a DDT.
Nice. That's a work.
Absolute disrespect from Ron Sterling, but it's okay because he's the good guy.
My heart. That's gonna be a 10.
God damn.
Nice.
So I'm going to gain 2 momentum.
Nice.
Ramiro, does my breath smell funny?
It's fine. I have some gum for you.
Elmo can't chew gum.
Thank
You
you,
know
for
that.
this. Thank you for this.
Ron is going to then try and put Ash into the sharpshooter. But Ash
Ooh.
kind of fights out of it before I'm able to get it locked in, using her legs to kick me back. With Ron kicked back, he's going to run at her as soon as she gets up to her feet and try and hit her with a clothesline.
Nice.
Which is a 8. So I will take the momentum and give control back.
Yeah, Ash takes the clothesline and it like knocks her off her feet, like her legs just go out from underneath her, and yeah, she goes like tumbling, rolling to the mat, like to an exaggerated degree that she ends up with like an arm like over like the bottom rope, and she's kind of like looks up at the audience and just does this like I'm not done yet kind of look, and you know Ron's kind of like in the middle of the ring just doing like, is that it? Is that all you've got? Like, is this? You said you wanted to wrestle, and she kind of climbs her way back up the ropes again, and as she comes in, she is kind of stumbling a little bit as she walks towards Ron, and then suddenly just like leans forward and does like almost like a wheel kick, like spins her whole body forward like a front flip, to just like clock Ron in the jaw. And the two of them kind of like floof down to the mat together. Or I should roll actually to find out if in fact they do.
Yeah.
Just an incredible display of power from Ash with the kick swinging around like a windmill. It's incredible.
I'm gonna spend a momentum to turn that 9 into a 10, which will then let me retain control and gain 2 momentum. I think at that point, Ash kind of she stands up and like pulls Ron like up to his feet, and like yeah, she kind of positions him in the middle of the ring and like steps back a bit and tries to go for like a Hurricane Rana, and gets like halfway through it before Ron like grabs her and just power bombs her into the mat. Just, nah, you're not doing that. Down again. Yeah, honestly, I think that's the whole spot.
Yeah, I love it. I think that's a work.
Well, this goes to show that, again, the fact that these two fighters know each other's ins and outs and are able to exploit each other's weaknesses and techniques whenever there is a moment.
That's true. You know, you're never really hurt by anyone as much as by your friends.
That sounds like a personal experience, Belmo.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. Was that too real? Bubba can dial it back.
Don't you dare, Bella. Don't you ever. I rolled an 8.
Don't
Plus
you-
2 is 10. I'm taking my plus 2 momentum.
Don't you ever dare.
And
Yama
I
was
think-
told this is an emotional promotion.
It is. It's true.
It is.
I love it, Johnny. It is.
And like, yeah, the two of them are just sort of like slowly pulling up to their feet, and it's just a scramble of like fists and kicks. Ron manages to get her into a headlock. He manages to get Ash into a headlock, and like drives it into one of the turnbuckles. And she's like starts to kind of fall back. He like grabs her and like lifts her up over his head, plunks her up on top of the turnbuckle, and backs up. And again, it's another super kick, just square in the chest.
Jeez. Getting
Another
the shit.
vicious super kick.
The assault is unrelenting. That's a big word Belmer learned recently.
It is a good word.
So that's a 9, just perfect, because I'm gonna go ahead and take my 1 momentum and then say that Ash goes flying out of the ring from this like just clean super kick to the chest and directly into the announcer table. Just
Oh, that's good.
and then Ron, you have narrative control of the match. As Ash is
Ash,
flunked out.
Ash,
the
wake
table.
up. Wake up.
Did the announcer table break, or did she just run into
No,
it?
it did not break yet.
Okay.
No,
Yeah.
but before.
Do you see what I say yet? Because
Yeah.
you can break it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It is
yeah.
wrestling.
It is
Yes.
wrestling.
It does have the shitty monitors in it. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta have that always. They're big.
Ro-
but
Ron rolls out of the ring after Ash, goes over to the announce table and rips the monitor protector thing off, and then the monitors out and throws
Yeah,
them off
yeah,
to the side.
yeah.
Rolls her up onto the table, picks her up.
By this
Uh,
time, I don't know if you announcers know, you've moved back in the chairs. And
Yeah.
you're like freaking out. Like,
Well, as much as freaking out Johnny
yeah,
will ever
okay,
do.
fair. Fair. I'm assuming Ramiro has freaked out.
God, they've come in close quarters. It's all about happening right here on the table. It's like you'd think the cook was here because we're getting tableside service like it's a dang hibachi restaurant. It's incredible. There's flips and smashes. The cables are coming out.
That's right. And Belmer can barely process all the information that's happening in front of him. His prefrontal
only
cortex is not fully developed yet to understand all the intense action that's happening here. Only available on PWN presents Slaughter.
Okay. No, sorry. Okay.
Speaking of hibachi, Ramiro, I actually found a new hibachi restaurant down the street.
That's incredible, Johnny. We got to go there, but we have to put in an order for takeout because there's too much happening here. So, if you wouldn't mind getting me a teriyaki beef platter, and maybe some sides. But right now we have to deal with what's happening in front of us, and hopefully the table will still be intact by the time that it arrives.
So
I'll put the order in.
Ron has Ash up on her feet, like with her head next to his head.
Yeah.
He's gonna look at this ridiculous from Ramiro and go, "You have to be there for hibachi to be worth it."
Otherwise, it defeats the whole purpose of
It's kind of the
going to
whole
restaurant.
point.
It's all about
That's the whole reason.
presentation.
To be fair though, we are missing out on the Ring of Fire, which I'm assuming it will happen sooner than later.
Ron then like immediately cuts back to the job at hand.
Oh my god.
With
Belmer loves Johnny Cash.
they're head to head with each of them holding each other up on each other's shoulders. And Ron goes to Ash, "I'm sorry for everything I've done, but thank you for helping me get here." And then Ron is going to power bomb Ash through the announce table.
Fuck yes. Sorry. I want you to roll plus. I want you to roll plus heat. You have to roll plus.
Johnny's gonna pick
Okay.
this as that's happening. Johnny's gonna sweep and take all the action figures off the
Off
table.
the table.
Save the merch.
Save the
Save the
merch.
merch, Johnny.
The fastest we've ever seen Johnny Wong move for anything.
Ever.
Stone faced, but with like super quick speed, man. Like just zoop. Like the
These are
Flash.
production samples.
Yeah, those are expensive.
These are not final.
I got a 12.
Nice.
So we go crashing through the tables.
At this moment, I feel it's important to know that Ron is booked to win.
Holy smokes! Did you see that?
Yes,
did
and
you all
thankfully
see
we have a
that?
new budget, so we now actually can get a new table.
So both of them are like laying there for a little bit, after a big spot.
That's like the
kind of
laying there, like
Yeah.
Playing
Yeah.
it up. Ron is first to his feet and kind of shakes it off, and picks up Ash and rolls her back in the ring, and then slides in after her, and then very much recreating the Shawn Michaels versus Ric Flair moment of WrestleMania. Ron's gonna be like crying at this point, and he's gonna say I'm sorry again, and then he's gonna hit Ash with his finishing move, his super fab super kick.
Love it.
To
Roll
attempt
that.
to
Roll that.
finish.
Finishing move.
Ramiro,
Roll.
Ramiro,
What is it, Bilmo?
do you think Ron really means it when he said he's sorry?
I don't know, Belmo. We're gonna have to find out. Together.
Pardon me.
You see the one
Tear.
trickle tear coming off of Johnny as Ron is doing the super fat kick.
So I got a 10. So my finisher goes off clean.
Beautiful.
I'm gonna go into the pin immediately after.
Goes 1, 2, 3. I can hit the ring bell.
And there's the bell, and it's just an incredible upset that we've seen here. This match has gone everywhere, up, down, sideways, and through the table. Just an incredible display of love and friendship and hatred, all coming together here in one big messy tornado of pitfalls and danger. Just an incredible display.
Yeah, Belmo really didn't know how that one was going to turn out at all. And while Belmo is very glad to see Ron Sterling, the Prince of Fab, bringing it home, Belmo can't help but feel some distant longing for those days when these two were friends.
After the pin,
I'm gonna let Ron leave unless you want to do that right now. Cause are you okay with that?
I want to say something to Ron actually.
Oh yeah, okay. You said something.
Then,
Ron,
then
okay.
you can,
Yeah,
then you can,
yeah, okay.
Just like right after the pin, after that third bell, Ash brings her arm up around like his neck and shoulders to kind of like pull him in, and just kind of whispers to him, "Yeah, thank you for the raid,
Oh, we got a raid.
Midgardia."
Thank you, Vicaria, for the raid. Thank you so much. Love you.
Ash from the mat like pulls like with her arm around Ron's like neck and shoulders, kind of pulls him down in close and says, "Got your title. You win, Ron. But I die a legend," and just shoves him off of her and lays on the mat.
Ron grabs both belts and holds them both up with both arms as he walks out to the back room.
Ash will kind of roll up onto one shoulder, put her other arm down, kind of to brace herself, and she's got her hair down, like blocking her face for just a second. And then she like flips back and pushes back her hair, and we can see that like there's like a streak of blood going down and over her left eye.
Nice.
Certainly, she didn't just surreptitiously grab a blood capsule while they were out on the table. That's no. It's just real blood.
She didn't blade. Nah.
Yeah, no. It's... And what's my prop? There's my prop. Yeah. From nowhere, she produces a microphone, and she goes, McCormick! Alistair McCormick the Third. I'm not dead, Alistair. Your champion couldn't kill me. But you know what they say. Never send a boy to do a man's job, Alistair McCormick III. The Prince of Fab wasn't enough. Nobody in your roster is enough, Alistair McCormick III. Yeah, I lost here today. But from my ashes, a phoenix rises. And Ash turns and, like, slowly walks her way back
You can try, but there's music.
to the entrance. Oh, okay, she's slowly trying to walk her way out of the ring. If music then hits, then feel free.
Yep, Belmo hears music.
There's just slow music starts. Are you staying in the ring with the music, or?
I think I get to the I start to go into the ropes, and as soon as I hear the music, I like stop, and my back straightens, and I turn to face like the other entryway.
Stepping out, wearing his suit, a little, fairly athletic with a little bit of a belly, with his comb over, is Alistair McCormick III. He's not wearing a mic, but you can hear him clearly.
Of course.
So, Ash, or should I call you Phoenix?
She just stares him down.
I hear you have a beef with me. You want to take it all the way to the top?
You haven't got the guts. And you haven't got the manpower to do anything to me that hasn't already been done.
Oh, you haven't even seen what I can do. You against my best. Next week. I win, you're fired.
And she turns away from him.
And he does this like little weird walk that he does, like the I can never do it because I can't walk like him. It's just so freaking weird every time.
You have to walk from your shoulders.
We'll see if you can put your money where your mouth is. And he just turns and walks out.
And the gauntlet has been thrown, Ramiro and Belmo.
Yeah, just absolutely shocking everybody. Alistair finally appearing in the ring in person, but more than happy to pull the strings from behind the scenes, but finally showing his visage and the true might of his power, finally calling out Ash, who has been calling for Alistair's head since day one of entering this whole shindig. We'll see what happens next time, but I, for one, absolutely can't wait to see how this whole thing shakes out.
Wait, Ramiro and Johnny?
Yes, Belmo.
Yes, Belmo.
Before, it was really scary when Ash was doing the menacing laughter and everything, but that was scarier.
Yes, that was the true epitome of fear.
Belmo's not sure he's cut out for this. The stakes have been raised so high in the last our Belmo came here to call matches and have fun, but now so much is on the line. He's not sure this place is going to be able to, if he's going to be able to survive it.
Oh, Belmo.
It's okay, Belmo. It'll be okay.
Ramiro, give Belmo a hug. Belmo needs a hug. There we go. Okay. Okay, good. It's gonna be okay, Belmo. I promise.
You say that, but you can't make promises you can't keep.
I can
Some
make
people
those
get
promises. I make those promises.
You don't know where the dice are gonna land.
I know, but I have control over everything else. Okay, anyway.
Belmo's sorry for yelling. It's just a really stressful time.
It's okay,
for
Belmo.
everybody,
Belmo.
And this is how he handles stressful
Belmo,
situations.
it's okay. It's okay. I understand, Belmo.
Okay, Belmo's
I
gonna
under-
slow his roll. Belmo are going to craft services.
Yeah, go get a snack, Belmo.
Some tacos.
He could use a little bit of crafting. He's made out of felt. As Ash makes her way up the ramp, she turns past those two braziers and just like reaches out with her arms and like knocks them both to the ground, and then like walks slowly backwards up the ramp, disappearing like around the little corner there. And the moment she's around and out of view of the audience, collapses to the floor.
Oh.
Like in slow motion, in fact, it's just.
We get a view of Ron in his room, his dressing room, just holding up both belts, looking at them. Yeah, curling them, just taking his moment. We get a view of Katrina in her lair, looking at the board, staring at that picture of Ron with just the eyes of vengeance. And we go to the cook. Is the cook still in the casket?
Oh no, he's out of the casket now.
Okay, I just need to know where he is.
Oh, he's literally climbing out of a 6-foot ditch, and you see Olive Oil's over there with a shovel, as well, and helping him up, and his face is full of like dirt and everything, and he just gets up, and he sits down.
As you climb out of the ditch,
Mhm.
standing above the ditch as you're climbing out is the governor, with the Rocket Man King behind him. And he gets in your face and he goes, "Okay, you know what? You have gone too far, little man. And it's now time to put you back in your place, you blasphemous fool." And pushes you and Olive Oil into the ditch you've just created and starts shoveling dirt onto the top of both of you. And it goes to... This has been PWN Presents Slaughter! From Vancouver, Washington on KPTV 12. Tune in next week to see what happens at our prime time event. I really like this music.
It's so good.
Now is the time for enjoying the music.
Yeah. All right, end of episode. Did anyone not have an interaction and need to lose heat?
I did not have an interaction with Super Brover. My Super Brover heat goes to 3.
Oh no!
Oh no! What will you do?
The travesty.
I'm sure you're really broken up about that one.
So good.
The rest
Well,
of them
nothing with the bowl
stay.
now. That's
Yeah.
fine.
All right. I don't think any of you have 0 audience. Not really worried about it.
Oh, I actually go up in audience. I just realized because I finished. I was in a match with Ron, and I have 4 heat with him.
Yes.
So I had 3 audience, but not at 4.
I go from 2 to 4 with my title victory.
Yep.
You do.
You do indeed.
Damn.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good.
That
Good
was a
shit.
big one. Yeah, I'm at 3 now. So
Y'all,
because that fight with Katrina was we were at +4 heat. So
that was so good. Y'all,
had to
y'all
build
are
one
great.
back
with
up.
both of us.
Y'all
Yeah,
are
huh?
great. I love y'all so much. You're
Actually,
great.
Simon, didn't you technically go to 4 because you won that match?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because you were at 2, right? You reset at 2.
I reset to 1.
Oh,
I'm
then
sorry.
no. So you're
As
three.
the monster, I reset
Yeah.
to 1.
Okay.
Fair.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a question. So from my standpoint, I really feel like this is kind of that brings a close to Ash and Ron's feud. Should we reset heat on that?
Oh,
That's a good point.
Actually, probably, yeah.
yeah.
Because that felt like the end of a storyline. there.
Yeah, that was the end of a storyline
Yeah.
between you and Ron. I would agree.
So my heat with Ron drops to 0, and we begin the process anew.
I always forget that rule.
Oh,
like, that
actually,
it-
it resets to 1, Fox.
Oh, to 1? Thank you.
Mhm.
Sorry, I thought it was to 0.
You still have some beef, but not as much.
No, yeah.
but not 4.
No,
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about each other every episode now.
No. And yeah.
Ashley, Ronald.
Hey, I called him the Prince of Fab. I used his proper title.
You
even.
did.
Yeah.
You did.
Ash was showing respect. Excuse me, Phoenix was showing. To properly answer your question, Phoenix was showing
Phoenix was
respect.
showing respect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will return. Don't you sweat.
But Alistair's also kind of a dick.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to remind you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I'm
Friends.
pretty sure he's gonna have fight as battle for him.
Oh, I do. Anyway. Okay. Let us go around and talk about who we are, what we do, and where you can find us on the internet. And I'm going to start with Fox.
Hey folks, I remain Fox Barrett at Fox_Barrett on Twitter, where I am still on hiatus. I am socially distancing myself from Twitter, let's say. The best places to catch me, in like an hour and change, 2 hours. You can catch me over on Devil's Luck, twitch.tv/Devil's Luck Gaming. I'm gonna be playing in their Deadlands game, Hell's Coming With Me. We are on tonight, and I'm gonna go be a rootin' tootin' cowboy lady who does magic. It's a thing. So come check us out over twitch.tv/Devil's Luck Gaming. I am also part of the Rifts game here Tuesday nights at 8, and I am the executive producer of Welcome to the Party's one-shot series Side Quests, which runs every Monday night at 9:30 Eastern on this channel. We're on our penultimate episode tomorrow night, and yeah, well, I mean for this season. Side Quests will return in season 3, but you know, yeah. Sorry, my brain is like, whew, after all of that. That was an incredible episode. Y'all, thanks so much. Smurf, thank you so much. That was yes, that was perfect. That was good. Thank you for putting me through the table. I'm so happy.
That was so good.
And thank you to who is it that donated bits? Was it Varnished Truth?
Yeah, it was Varnished Truth.
Thank you so much for donating the bits to convince Simon to bring in Belmo to call that match, because
I was really close to my rubber arm on that one, but
Ooh, so hard.
And I have other projects in the works. Hopefully some will be starting extremely soon. More on that as it develops.
All right, Simon.
hello, I'm Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris or on my itch page under the same handle, where I do game design, or at least non-LARP related game design. I've got a free game parodying Cats, the musical, which you can go check out. There's also a Forged in the Dark game that I'm working on that has a bunch of free community copies. If you're a marginalized person of any ethnicity, ability, gender, go get yourself a free copy. Let me know what you think. I am on this channel every week at this time playing this game, but I'm also on Thursdays on Scradix Academy playing Blades in the Dark at 2:30 Eastern. I'm also going to be starting up next week, starting on Saturday and then into Wednesdays. I will be part of the Magpie Games official organized play. streams. So I am GMing Masks, a campaign on Saturday from 4 to 8.
Yay!
And Wednesdays will be one-shots, 6:30 to 10:30. Come by and check those out.
Is that just Magpie Games?
It's on the Magpie Games Twitch, yeah.
So
Heck yeah.
I hope I got it
and
right. Nice. That's exciting.
It's very, very exciting.
So good. I'm so excited for you.
I love
So
Masks.
awesome.
I'm GMing some Masks. It's going to be a good time.
Good
Teenage
shit.
superheroes.
Yeah.
And if you're not completely tired of hearing my voice, you can check out the Penumbra podcast, where I'm a voice actor. It's a queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama. It is on thepenumbrapodcast.com, at the Penumbra Pod on Twitter, or wherever fine podcasts are sold.
Cool.
That's it.
Smurf.
Hi, everybody. I'm Smurf. You can find me on the internet at DSC_Smurf, just about anywhere the internets are found. If you want to see me do more ridiculous things in roleplay scenarios, you can follow me over on Dumpstat Charisma on Monday, Tuesdays, some Thursdays, and some Saturdays, or on Welcome to the Party on Friday nights and on Sundays in the afternoon, and on Soul Bear RPG Wednesday nights. That's where I am. Come find me.
Jackie.
Hi everybody, I'm Jackie, better known as Death by Mage on the internet. So you can follow me on Twitter at Death by Mage, and you can also check out Tuesday this wonderful Pan-Asian D&D adventure anthology Unbreakable comes out on DriveThruRPG. You can get a digital and hardcover. DriveThruRPG is still running their print-on-demand system, so you can actually get a hardbound copy. So that being said, that is probably the highlight of my week.
So excited.
And also please check my Twitter. You will see it go live on the 14th, and you will also get to see me promote all the wonderful Asian creators that worked on this book.
There were a lot. It's exciting.
It's a thick book.
It's a thick book.
That book thick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm Kate. I go by Mia Midair on the internet. I'm also on a Twitter hiatus at the moment, but you can find me all over the place on Discord. I'm on many channels, and I also make things like overlays and stuff. And you could find me at that website that Jackie just put on the chat if you are looking for logos or overlays and all of those things. Also, next week is our season finale. You don't want to miss it. Trust me, we have some surprises in store for you. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us today. We love having you with us through these chats. Thank you again, Varnish Truths, for the bits so that we can have Belmo. We love Belmo and twisting Simon's arm to do that. Thank you again, Midgardia, for the raid, Michael Wayne, and it was Techie Gamer for the subs. Y'all are the best. I hope you have a great week, and we will see you next.
Real quick. We are going to be raiding Chromatic
that's right.
Chimera. Just a heads
Yes.
up, so get ready to do raid stuff.
Oh, yes.
I'm gonna send you in the general direction.
Belmo is made by Puppets Roll Dice on Twitter. Check them out. They're amazing. Cool. Sorry.
It's okay. Starting up the raid, and yeah, we will totally see y'all soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.